So
Wow.
he's got some really bad history that he keeps repeating over and over. And you can't ever go into YouTube comments or like on Reddit and just be like, there's Joe Rogan again. Constantine didn't do anything. He called a session. That's all he did.
Yeah.
And they didn't choose books about, and it's just like we
not
did
even what they were talking about. It wasn't even the point of that council. I know that drives me nuts.
I would point him to a book like Michael J. Kruger has written numerous books showing, just how the canon arose from the church utilizing the books, and that, there's these false beliefs that Bart Ehrman subscribes to that a German philosopher theologian came up with. And it's just, the only reason it wasn't debunked back then was because World War II was occurring, and no one was translating this, no one was interacting with ideas other than Nazism and Americanism back then. So
but we have since then, like it's all and it's so amazing to me that these guys, it should be embarrassing to them, like when they realize how easily debunked this is.
It should be, but it's also embarrassing to Christians too. And so it's one of those things where we fail to learn from our history. And all my quotes are from other people's ideas. So James White always says that the two biggest thing that helps him in his ministry is the original language, especially Greek, and knowing and learning church history, because all the false ideas that are current now have already taken place and have already been answered by people way smarter than us, that devoted way more pages, that spoke way more eloquently, that interacted with better ideas than Richard Dawkins or the guy that I'm always arguing with on Facebook that doesn't give me an alternate worldview and it's just mean to me. But I'm like, well, you're by doing laughing faces on my post, you're actually bolstering my post, so I'm not gonna
Thank you.
Yes. Right.
How dare you?
Yeah, I know, right? I try not to ever block atheists. I have a few that come onto the blog anytime I talk about creationism, and I'm like, go ahead, keep going.
So I will remove posts for language and for flat earth. So I will let you say that Jesus was only a man or never existed, but you will not say that the earth is flat. I will not let you onto my anything. Sorry.
Yes.
Gosh, they are all over the place.
They are
flat earthers.
Well, and like that's and not for everyone, but it's a byproduct of a failure of especially the American or the Western church. Like we've failed to encapsulate what the church was supposed to be. And so you ask sometimes, why should we read? It's one of those reasons, because it's a lot of it's already been done before, and we're just it's not written by a smiling person on the cover. And again, I know that's not everyone, especially in the circles that we run in, but it's like, how many times do we need to write the same book that was written in 325 AD by Athanasius? And he did the heavy lifting. He's interacted with the best stuff, and we can learn from that. We don't need to write it all over again. And so
and all of those books are in the public domain now, so it's they're free. The new books they're going to cost a lot of money, but Athanasius stuff is free. That's why I love the old stuff. Whenever I first got into blogging and I wanted to do a book review each week, I was like, man, this is going to get really expensive. Are there any books in the public domain? And it was like anything from 1700s back.
Before Mickey Mouse.
Yes, it's all free. I love it. Yeah. Right. That's a really good point. I was excited to hear Dr. Lyle say that he's going to be working on flat earth stuff, because that is really annoying. But it is an issue with reading, which is why I'm thankful that you guys are promoting reading and talking about all these different important topics, because we don't know how to, especially my generation and the generation prior to mine, we don't know how to reason. We don't know anything about logic, and we don't want to. Like, there's no desire for that within our generation. So it's that spans across whether you're atheist or you're Christian.
Yeah, I mean, Tony could probably talk about that, just the people that he sees in his classroom and what that's like.
Yeah, is it getting worse as the years go along, or have you seen like a progression, or have you seen anything getting better?
Yeah, I would say so. I've been teaching for maybe about 10 or 12 years, actually. Yeah, I wouldn't say it's getting worse. Society clearly is getting worse, right? With all the new morality and that kind of stuff. And so in terms of that, yeah, people are buying into that pretty much, you know. So that's getting worse, clearly. But, you know, in terms of how they think, their worldviews, you know, it's pretty much been the same, I think, especially at a school, you know, the kind of school that I work at. So, you know, that's I think that's probably what I would say. The relativism is huge. You know, students, I teach a lot of ethics classes, and you know, everybody believes that basically, you know, whatever's true for me is true for me.
Yes.
Yeah, that kind of stuff. So, you know, and it, you know, so I wail away at that on my classes, you know, to try to, you know, make sure that they clearly understand the implications of trying to say something like that, right?
Right.
But,
that's great.
So something like that, that's getting worse because that's what we see in society today, right? I mean, it's, you know, it's whatever I'm, whoever I think I am, right?
Right. Yes.
You know, regardless of what my biology says or whatever, right? So yeah, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Do you see? Oh, go ahead.
I was just saying, on the Christian side, we're always waiting for the response book in order to know what to think, or and again, I'm making so many generalities here, and of course this doesn't apply to you, the listener, because you know you're doing the independent thing, and you're not doing what I've done in the past. So I'll say this about me. So you know, like when the Da Vinci Code came out and everyone was up in arms, and this was the thing that was gonna rock Christianity and bring it to its knees, and we were going to learn that the thing that we had to do was kneel at Mary Magdalene's grave at the Louvre. You know,
right.
You know, oh gosh, that was such a boring book. Like you know, I love bad movies, like really bad movies and cheesy, like just old
like
monster
what?
movies.
I'm trying to think like what?
Like
movies?
Them about giant ants. Oh, it's so good. Or Earth versus the Flying Saucers, or you know.
Did you watch Bird Epidemic?
Yes, Birdemic.
It's Birdemic.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. It's Birdemic, shock and horror, technically.
Shock and
yeah.
It's from the guys who did it's an actual movie that a guy from Silicon Valley, he was a software engineer.
Yeah, one
Is that what
dude.
He was? Just one dude. He's like, I'm gonna make a movie. It's terrible, but it's so funny.
It's so good.
It's so terrible. Good. It's so good. Yeah. And then the Mystery Science Theater 3000 guys.
That's what I grew up on.
Riffed it. Yeah, me too. I love them. Yeah. And so they did a riff on it, and it's hilarious. It's on Amazon Prime, I think, if anybody wants to watch that. We should link that in the notes. Tony, have you seen it?
I have not seen it. No.
Oh my gosh,
Tony likes good movies.
Okay, yes.
Yeah. Yes. But I can't stand, like, books to me, like, my time is precious. So you know, I can get enjoyment out of somebody telling me a bad story, but I can't suffice to read or to listen to a bad book. And Da Vinci Code was explanation, a little bit of something not back to explanation. And I'm reading this, and you know, from my background in, like, you know, not the occult, but the weird stuff before I was a Christian, like, this wasn't new information to me. I was like, oh yeah, I know this, like, this is, you know, I think it was like called like One Blood, One Faith or something like that. And there are people who actually believe that. And you know, we were all just waiting for the response book to tell us that, you know, that it wasn't Mary Magdalene, it was John in Da Vinci's painting, or, you know, it was right. We're always just waiting for the response book, rather than let's deal with the arguments there. Let's identify what's being written on the page in front of us. And that goes for, you know, the guy with the brilliant white teeth who you know, is trying to lead us into heresy, and also the atheist who, you know, wants to tell us that God is evil, and you know, just saying, well, hold on, let's define our terms. Yep. Would go a long way. And so you know, that's just one of the things that I appreciate about what we're doing, as far as just, you know, Tony wanted to do with me, is just, you know, helping me learn all these good, you know, apologetic resources. And it's not just apologetics that we do. We just do stuff that we find interesting, like Michael J. Kruger is just amazing, although, you know, you could call it apologetics in some capacity.